Hi Stampers, happy Monday. It's Christine from Christine's Stamping Spot joining you again this morning. Thank you for tuning in today. Today we're going to look at the Garden Wishes stamp set. This was in our mini, but it has happily enough been carried over into our new annual catalog, and it does come with some really neat dies. Quite a few of them actually that can be used in conjunction with the stamps in the set, but also some that can be used on their own. So we are going to use the odd one of these today to make our card. And we're going to make actually quite an easy fun fold card, which is this one. And it's basically just opens like this, and you can write your greeting here in the center. So it's a really easy one to do and doesn't really take very long at all. And we're also going to focus on our Dandy Garden Designer paper. Now this is retiring from the Dandy Garden suite, and it's really a neat and colorful 6x6 DSP. So it is double-sided, and you get lots of nice different designs, and they don't just have to be used on garden cards. I mean, there's some nice sort of patterns for masculine cards in here, and for some other sort of generic cards. So it's really, really a neat designer series paper. So I'm going to show you how we make this card just with a couple of simple folds. So I am going to grab my paper trimmer. And the way we cut this was, I hope you can see this on the camera, our cardstock, I chose Blackberry Bliss for this, and we cut it at 11 by 4 1/4, and then you're going to score it twice. So you're going to score it at 8 1/4, and again at 2 3/4. So it's just going to make two little flaps that we can fold up, and that's all we need our paper trimmer for. So we're going to fold these in, so whichever way you want to fold them up. So one is from the bottom, and the other one will be, oh, where's my fold here, from the top. And then they will line up here in the center, which will make your fun fold. Very, very simple and something a little bit different. Okay, so then what we're going to do is on the top and bottom, we're going to add just a couple of layers of basic white cardstock and also some of that designer series paper. So I did cut these down. The white is cut 4 by 2 1/2, and the DSP is cut at 3 3/4 by 2 1/4. And again, I will post these measurements. So you're going to cut 2 of each because we want it for the top and for the bottom panel. Okay, so you can select whatever pattern you want out of that DSP. I like how this one has a couple of dragonflies in it, this particular pattern. Really, really neat. And I love the colors with the calypso coral in there as well. So very colorful paper. Okay, so make sure my dragonflies are going the right direction. Okay, so then we're going to attach these, one to the bottom and one to the top. Okay, so we'll put this one at the bottom. And again, it is a little bit directional, this pattern, so just to make sure that your images are going the right direction. Oh, I'm just gonna fold this up so I can place this a little more accurately. Okay, so there is our top and our bottom. All right, so now what we're going to do is add this centerpiece. So to do that, I used the Hippo dies, Hippo and Friends dies actually. It comes with a coordinating stamp set, and these are the dies. So I think I've mentioned before, if you never cut out a hippo or a unicorn with these dies, they have some great layered framelits here. So I used these two. The larger one for a Blackberry Bliss and the smaller one for the basic white. and they just sort of layer on top of each other. So these are some really great dies here in this set. So I have my Blackberry Bliss, and I have my basic white. So before I put the white on though, we are going to attach our flower here. So what I did was, from the die, I cut out two of these flower images, one in the bumblebee and one in the mossy meadow. And then I cut out a couple of leaves from the mossy meadow, and also a flower center from the calypso coral. Okay, so these are dies that are in that set. So what I want to do is, because I don't want to have a yellow stem, I want to actually have a green stem on my flower. So I'm just going to snip off this yellow stem, and I'm going to snip off just this green piece here, because I don't want a green flower either. I just want the stem. And then I'm just going to attach this underneath. Okay, so I'll just put, maybe I'll put the adhesive on the flower, a little bit more space there. And then I'm just going to line this up on that one sort of petal, and that's going to give me a green stem. Okay, so then I can attach that onto my white. So I'm just going to do that. Probably, I think I will use a dimensional, but before I do that, I'm going to pop on this calypso coral piece. Now, I did put some adhesive sheets on the back of this, but you certainly don't have to. After the fact, I thought, oh, I could probably just pop this up with a mini dimensional, and that would look really cute too. But because I have it on here now, I guess I will just put it on as is. I'm just going to take that off. And I'm just going to offset these so-called petals, if you will, and center this because it is a little bit smaller. And try to center that a little bit. A little bit tricky to eyeball it, but okay, so we'll leave it like that. So that will become the center of the flower. Okay, so then I'm going to just put a little bit of adhesive on the stem. If I can get this to work here. Okay, and then I'm going to attach a dimensional onto the back of this flower, just so we do have something popping up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to put that sort of up here towards the top of the white, all right, and just sort of press that down. And then I can attach these leaves wherever I like. So we will just put a bit of adhesive on here because we are going to cut some of this off because it does not all fit. Okay, so we'll do the larger one, and then we'll add a little bit of a smaller one on the other side, like so. And then I'm just going to trim off all of this excess off of the bottom here because we don't need that to hang over. Okay, so there will be our white. And then we can attach that on top of our Blackberry Bliss layer. So I'm just going to put it with regular adhesive and center that on our layer. And these just line up so nicely on top of each other. I really, really like that. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to add a little piece of our braided trim. This is the Mossy Meadow braided trim that's also retiring with our mini catalog. So I'm just going to tie a piece here around the top. And I'm not a great bow tire, especially not on camera. So let's see how this will work. Okay, you can just do a knot if you'd rather not do a bow, that's fine. So I'm not gonna try to fuss too much. And there, so that's not too bad. Okay, and then I'll trim this off here. Okay, so there is our ribbon. And before I attach this on top, I'm going to just put an insert here on the inside. So I cut another piece of basic white cardstock at 5 1/4 by 4, and I am going to stamp a little bit just here in the corner. So I'm going to use this stamp from the stamp set, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to color it with my markers. So I have a Daffodil Delight and an Old Olive, and I don't need the whole stamp set. I just want the top portion here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to color the flowers. And I did try this with some blends, and for some reason it didn't really take the ink very well. So I might have to experiment with that. But the markers, I have done this before, this technique with markers, and it always seems to work quite nicely. So that's what I'm just going to do for this one. So we've got the daffodil, and then we're just going to take our Old Olive, and we're just going to, actually maybe I'll use the broader tip, might be better. Just going to color in part of that stem, and here too I'm going to color in this green part at the base of the bloom and a little bit of the stem. And this one too has a few green spikes at the bottom and a stem, and then we have this larger leaf here, which we're also just going to color a portion of it. And this is great, you know, technique to do if you have images like florals or other ones where, you know, you could do it in black and then try to color it in, but sometimes these images are really detailed, and so sometimes it's nice just to color it with some ink. So I'm just going to huff on it just to re-moisten that, and I'm just going to put mine in this bottom corner here and give it a good press, and there you go. There is your colored image. Okay, so that is what I'm going to put on the inside of the card. And then you still have room to write your message, or if you wanted to use one of the greetings from the stamp set, you could certainly stamp that in the center as well. But this just makes it look not quite so plain. Okay, and then we can attach this as well as a greeting. So from the stamp set, there are a couple of greetings here. I used wishing you all the best. So I stamped that on basic white with Blackberry Bliss ink, and then I cut it out with one of the Stitch So Sweetly dies. So I think what I will do is probably put this like really close to the bottom, and then this may overlap it a little bit, but that's okay. So we will put this greeting towards the bottom. You could put it in the center, you could put it either side. Oops, putting it up the right direction would help. Okay, so let's put that there. And just to be aware, when you put this piece on, I'm going to attach it with some dimensionals. However, you want to make sure that the dimensionals are only on the top portion. If you put dimensionals top and bottom and stick it on, well, you can see you won't be able to open your card. So you want to make sure that it's just on the top half. So I think I will put about 3. And then you're just going to place that wherever you like. I'm not going to cover up, you know, I don't want it all the way down here because it'll cover my greeting. So I'm going to move it up just a little bit in the center, and a little bit of my greeting might be covered up, but I'm good with that. That doesn't bother me because you can still read it, and then when you open it, you've got that great little surprise stamp inside, and you still have room for your greeting. So there you go. There is our easy fun fold card. So I hope you enjoyed that project. And I do have a host code for anyone interested. If you'd still like to get in on the last chance list, you have until June 30th to do that. And I do have a host code, HRZD4B9N, for anyone that has an order $200 or less. You're welcome to use that code. And you can access anything you'd like to order on my website at christineludwig.stampinup.net, or just visit my Facebook or Pinterest page at Christine Stamping Spot if you'd like to check out some previous videos or some other projects that we've done in the past. And if you'd like to contact me, my email, chris.ludwig@hotmail.com. So I hope you enjoyed that project, and we will see you again next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye for now.